how good were Travis's friendship bracelets for this thing to actually come to fruition? Like, what did you give the friendship bracelets, or was that just on the podcast? Like,
I've never seen the original.
They didn't leave the stadium because I was butthurt, Jason.
He threw a tantrum. He threw a man tantrum.
He's out of here.
It's so funny.
My plan is ruined.
It was really more it was like the romantic gesture of it.
Fair enough.
Of the whole thing.
I had her at butthurt.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was like, I haven't heard that since 7th grade. That's a throwback. But it was also kind of like, we live in this day and age where it's like the most romantic gesture that anybody makes towards a girl is usually like their picture, DM them, whatever. And that's absolutely a romantic gesture in itself. But this kind
When Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift finally sat down together on the record-breaking New Heights podcast, the internet all but combusted. 4 months. Fans had speculated, theorized, and dissected every glance and cryptic message, but nothing could have prepared them for the magic that unfolded during Swift's first major long-form interview. The episode dropped on August 13th, and within minutes, it was clear something special was happening. Over 1.3 million people tuned in live, and by the end of the day, the video had soared past 13 million views. For the first time, the world witnessed their dynamic, unfiltered, unguarded, and utterly captivating. Unlike the fleeting moments captured by paparazzi or hinted at on Instagram, this was a real conversation. You could feel the ease between them, the laughter that came so naturally, and the subtle glances that said more than words ever could. It was obvious. This wasn't just celebrity chemistry. It was the kind of connection people search for their whole lives. But what led up to this moment? Their journey began long before the world was watching. In the months prior to their headline-making podcast appearance, Taylor and Travis did something rare for people in their position. They disappeared. Not from each other, but from the relentless glare of cameras and the never-ending buzz of social media. With the NFL off-season and a short break in Taylor's tour schedule, they found themselves with something they'd both been craving: time. No stadiums, no arenas, just quiet mornings, shared coffee, and long walks where no one asked for autographs. According to those close to the couple, this downtime was transformative. It gave them a space to settle into a real rhythm. Inside jokes, lazy afternoons, and the kind of everyday moments that build a foundation for something lasting. As one friend shared, they realized how much they have in common, how similar their values are. They just fit. Taylor, who has spent most of her adult life on a hamster wheel of creative output and publicity, found comfort in the ordinary. She marveled at how quickly she felt at ease with Travis, how the pressure melted away when it was just the two of them. Travis, too, discovered a side of himself he didn't know existed, a quietness, a groundedness that came from truly being seen. Back in 2023, the rumors were just beginning to swirl. Both were at the top of their fields, Taylor as a musical juggernaut and Travis as one of the NFL's most charismatic stars. When Taylor started showing up at Chiefs games, fans from both worlds lost their minds. The sight of her cheering in the stands, singing along with fellow fans, and later embracing Travis after his Super Bowl win in Las Vegas sent the internet into overdrive. It wasn't just the spectacle that fascinated people. It was the sense that something real was happening behind the scenes. Both had been in high-profile relationships before, but this felt different. In interviews, Travis would talk about how rare it was to meet someone who understood what it meant to live life under a microscope. Taylor echoed the sentiment, privately telling friends that Travis made her feel safe in a way no one else had. "He gets it," she'd say. "He gets me." On the surface, they couldn't be more different. He's a 6'5" tight end, known for his bravado and larger-than-life presence on the field. She's the world's most famous songwriter, revered for her vulnerability and storytelling. Yet, when you peel back the layers, their worlds aren't so far apart. Travis once told GQ that he had never dated anyone who understood the unique pressures of fame. "I hadn't experienced somebody in the same shoes as me, having a partner who understands the scrutiny, understands the ups and downs of being in front of millions," he admitted. What surprised him most was seeing Taylor's work ethic up close. She may not think of herself as an athlete, but what she puts her body through, the hours, the discipline, it's mind-blowing. Taylor, in turn, grew to admire Travis's dedication, not just to his sport, but to his family, his team, and his community. She saw the way he mentored younger players, the pride he took in his roots, and the joy he found in making others laugh. It didn't take long for her to realize that beneath the bravado was a man with a heart as big as his dreams. Despite their fame, Taylor and Travis found ways to carve out a semblance of normalcy. They took weekend trips to sleepy towns, wandered through farmers markets, and spent rainy afternoons cooking together. Taylor would bring her guitar, serenading Travis with new melodies, while he'd teach her how to throw a spiral, much to her delight and his amusement. Their friends noticed the difference immediately. Taylor just seemed lighter, one confidant said. She was genuinely happy. Travis's inner circle, used to the parade of admirers, was equally impressed. They were struck by Taylor's humility and her genuine interest in getting to know everyone. She became a fixture at family barbecues and game nights, blending in as if she'd always been there. While their public appearances drew headlines, Taylor at Chiefs games in a custom jersey, Travis cheering from backstage at her concerts, their favorite moments were usually the quietest ones. Binge-watching reality TV, late-night drives with the windows down, spontaneous road trips with no destination. It was during these unguarded moments that the depth of their connection became clear. They challenged each other, made each other laugh, and found comfort in simply being together. Travis loved hearing Taylor's stories from her childhood, and Taylor was endlessly entertained by Travis's tales from the locker room. Their willingness to learn from each other and to support one another's passions became the cornerstone of their relationship. As the months passed, their conversations turned to the future. They talked about everything: career goals, family traditions, and the kind of life they wanted to build together. Marriage and children weren't just abstract concepts, they became real possibilities. Both agreed there was no rush, but the more time they spent together, the more certain they became. Travis would joke about having a house full of kids, and Taylor's eyes would light up at the thought. Friends say she's never been so sure about anyone before. Travis, for his part, couldn't stop telling teammates how lucky he felt. "She makes me want to be better," he shared. "She makes everything make sense." Their families grew close, too. Taylor's parents adored Travis, and he quickly became a favorite at Swift family gatherings. Holiday dinners were filled with laughter, music, and fiercely competitive games of charades. Donna Kelce, Travis's mom, often said that Taylor brought out the best in her son. When the New Heights podcast episode finally aired, it was more than just a celebrity interview. It was a window into something rare and real. From the playful teasing to the heartfelt confessions, fans saw a couple deeply in tune with each other. Their authenticity was magnetic, and the response was immediate. Comment sections flooded with messages celebrating their love story, and the episode became an instant classic. Listeners were drawn in by the vulnerability on display. They talked about their fears, their dreams, and the challenges of living life in the public eye. They laughed about inside jokes, recounted adventures, and shared how they supported each other through the toughest moments. More than anything, they showed the world what it looks like when two people truly see and accept each other. With the world watching, Taylor and Travis know the pressures won't go away. There will always be rumors, critics, and the never-ending cycle of public scrutiny. But they've learned how to tune out the noise and focus on what matters: each other. They're planning for the future, discussing possible wedding venues, and dreaming up family traditions. They remain each other's biggest supporters, showing up for every game, every concert, and every milestone. In a world that often tries to pull people apart, they've found strength in partnership. Their story isn't just about celebrity or spectacle. It's about finding joy in the ordinary, embracing vulnerability, and building a life together one day at a time. As they look ahead, whether it's a quiet night at home or a packed stadium, they know they'll face it side by side. And if the podcast episode is any indication, the world will be watching, rooting for them every step of the way.